Were you surprised by how the race played out and the amount of passes we saw?
I think when you get this combination, Joe, of long straightaways, little to no grip, and just overall a new track, and it feels like a very balanced playing field, at least for the drivers, it almost kind of felt like it was something that was, I don't want to say destined to happen, because you look at what was happening Thursday and we thought, okay, this is going to be a train wreck. But yeah, I mean, I was absolutely surprised with the final product, and we absolutely cannot forget the train wreck that happened Thursday night, but I think it absolutely made itself up and was, in my opinion, one of the best showings of the year. Joey, what do you think?
Well, so we have two kind of situations here, because at one kind of side of this, you could see passes coming from a mile away. And I mean literally a mile away, because they were coming all the way down that strip straight. And you knew that DRS was going to be super powerful down there. So you knew that was going to create passing. What I was so surprised to see was how many opportunities for passing were getting set up. How many times we saw cars, 2, 3, 4 cars going down that straight together. We saw a couple of incidences where there were 2 or 3 cars wide, long into the race. This wasn't just, after a restart or something where everybody's bunched up. The pack stayed relatively together. And to your point as well, not just DRS passes. We saw passes into the inside of turn 1, the outside of turn 1, Hamilton and Alonso particularly, just showing their racecraft. So, yeah, if we were worried that this was going to be a parade, everyone was calling it, the new crown jewel, or supposed to be the new crown jewel, similar to Monaco. This is nothing like Monaco. So yeah, I'm very excited. Ben, what about you?
Yeah, well, to Jackson's point, I don't think we can forget what happened on Thursday, and I'm sure we'll get into that here a little bit later in terms of just how we're going to remember the entire weekend. But I was very surprised. I was, not really sure what to expect. I knew there were a lot of variables coming into this race, and this is a circuit that obviously, nobody's ever seen before. We've never had a race here before. We didn't have any support races to kind of tease us and give us an idea of what we were going to see. And I think it absolutely delivered, to have a legitimate three-way battle for the win. I'm sure for everybody who's not a Max Verstappen fan, it was definitely a buzzkill that the same guy ended up winning the race anyway. But how we got there, the journey to get to another Max Verstappen win, was certainly a lot different than it's been the vast majority of the races he's won throughout this year. And so I think, to Jackson's point, absolutely the best race of the season. I saw some people saying it was the best race in the last few seasons. I don't know if we can go that far, because we certainly got some great races in 2021, to say the least. But as of this calendar year, I think absolutely most fans would share the opinion that the quality of the racing we saw, it wasn't just a complete runaway for Red Bull. Max Verstappen really had to go out there and earn this one, and more power to him.
And I would kind of argue really quickly that if we're looking at the new aerodynamic era, 2022 onwards, I don't think anything has produced better racing than this street track today. And I was talking to Joe in the group chat last night. I found our solution to make these cars race really well. Just make it either cold as crap or just give us zero track grip, and just the racing will naturally be good.
We've seen the DRS really become a strategy thing, especially the detection points. That's one of the things that does stand out for me from last year of great racing. We saw Leclerc and Verstappen going at it early on in the season with that back-to-back fight, and we kind of got this a little bit this year. Unfortunately, Checo's been on the receiving end both times when it comes to this DRS strategy. We're talking about last time out in Sao Paulo with Alonso, and now with Leclerc, you saw him biding his time. You knew he was only going to get one shot at it, because you saw that once he gets past with the DRS, that's no longer the faster car of the two. The DRS gives you that much advantage. So it really became a strategy game. And I think that's the only other thing in this era that we saw Leclerc play this game back with Verstappen at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, Joey, I want to respond to that, and we'll get off of this bird walk, but it's very much shades of, say, Saudi Arabia, first time we ran it in 21, where they realized just how powerful that DRS was, and you're sitting on that detection point and trying to, get as much of an advantage. And FIA, Saudi Arabia realized that, cut it short. So I think that's something we could totally see change in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Joe, get us out of here.
But yeah, no, Jackson, just real quick, one more, and then I promise
Yeah.
we can move on. But to your point about the colder temperatures, everybody talks about how we need a race in Africa. It's the last continent we don't have. There's one more continent, the Antarctica Grand Prix. You up for that?
Antarctica Grand Prix. Get those wet tires some use.
Yeah.
Red Bull does this thing where they like drive their F1 cars everywhere. So I mean, if you want to talk about instant advantage,
Well, but Verstappen would win that one because he's the one who did the demonstration when they put the chains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
He's got the experience.
Yeah.
And one of the things we've always heard the discussion about the tire warmers. When are they going to ban them? This might make a case of, hey, if the tires are colder, the grip level, when you come out pit road, we know Juan Pablo Montoya looked really good on cold tires after pit stops. That could be really something maybe get a lot of folks thinking about.